Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So let's just dive right into it. Today we're unpacking a topic that literally touches almost every single one of us, navigating our digital boundaries. You know, our digital lives and our physical lives are completely intertwined now, but the laws and the personal lines that actually govern our behavior online, they can sometimes feel a bit blurry. So we're going to clarify exactly where Danish law draws the line, what your rights are, and most importantly, how to empower and protect yourself in the digital space.
To kick things off, I want to test a really common assumption. Imagine this. Can you freely photograph people on a public beach? Most of us would probably think, well, yeah, it's a public space. There's no expectation of privacy, right? Anything goes. But is that actually what the law says? Keep that little scenario in the back of your mind because the answer might completely surprise you. And it perfectly illustrates how nuanced these digital boundaries really are.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, digital boundaries and rights. Second, photography in public. Third, digital stalking and surveillance. Fourth, the illegal sharing of images. And finally, how to protect yourself.
All right, part one, digital boundaries and rights. Before we get into the hyper-specific scenarios, we really need a baseline for how Danish authorities and support organizations view our digital presence. Basically, according to the Danish Crime Prevention Council, sharing intimate images without explicit, absolutely clear consent is always a violation of privacy rights. It's that simple. In the digital world, your right to bodily autonomy and privacy doesn't just poof disappear just because something is on a screen. If you haven't been given absolute, direct permission to share an image of someone, doing so is crossing a fundamental legal and ethical boundary. Moving on to part two, photography in public.
Okay, so Danish family lawyers make a super fascinating legal distinction here, and it directly answers our beach question from earlier. Yes, as a rule of thumb, you can take photos in public spaces, but the crucial boundary is crossed the second you decide to publish or share them. It is perfectly legal to publish what's called an oversichtsbilleder, basically an overview picture of a crowded beach, where no single person is the main focus. However, it is completely illegal to publish a nærbilleder, a zoomed-in, close-up shot of a specific person, like a sunbather, without their consent. Taking the photo might be tolerated from a distance, but the literal second you hit share on a close-up, you've broken the law.
Which brings us to part three, digital stalking and surveillance. Shifting gears from public spaces to deeply private ones, organizations like HVAD point out a really chilling reality. Control doesn't end just because a relationship does. Let's say an ex-partner suddenly knows about private purchases on your bank account, or maybe your passwords change, emails mysteriously vanish, fake rumors are spreading about you on Facebook, or they miraculously know your exact GPS location. Guys, this isn't a coincidence. This is digital surveillance. It's quite literally a mechanism designed to maintain fear and control.
But here's the absolutely crucial thing you need to take away from this. This behavior isn't just creepy. It is a full-blown crime. In Denmark, the 2022 stalking law was a massive game changer. It made stalking behavior legally punishable outright. Before this, you often needed a police-issued restraining order in place first before the behavior actually became a punishable offense. Well, not anymore. The act of digital stalking itself is now a direct violation of the law.
All right, part four, illegal sharing of images. According to national surveys, a pretty staggering 10% of 7th to 9th graders have received a sexual image of someone that was shared without that person's consent. Think about that for a second. If you've experienced this, you really need to know you are not alone. It's a distressingly widespread issue, and we've got to remove the stigma around talking about it, because literally 1 in 10 kids are seeing this happen right on their devices.
But contrast that big number with this one, 2.4%. That is the percentage of youths who actually admitted to sharing an image without consent. So what does this tell us? Well, it tells us that a very, very small minority of people are causing massive, widespread harm to a huge number of victims.
And we really need to dispel a very dangerous myth here. For anyone under the age of 18, it is always illegal to share or store intimate images. And yes, that includes even if the person in the photo gave you permission. Now, there's a tiny, narrow exception for couples over 15, but generally speaking, consent does not magically make it legal when minors are involved. If you receive it and you keep it, you are breaking the law.
And the Danish legal system absolutely does not take this lightly. Just look at the penal code. Under Section 232, violating someone's modesty can carry a penalty of up to 2 to 4 years. Dealing with materials involving minors under Section 235, That can mean up to 2 to 6 years in prison under severe circumstances. And under Section 264D, violating privacy by sharing private matters carries up to 3 years. We're not talking about simple slaps on the wrist here. These are life-altering criminal records.
Finally, Part 5. How to protect yourself.
So, if you even suspect your digital boundaries are being compromised, here are some immediate technical steps you can take today for concrete, practical empowerment. First, change all your passwords, and this is absolutely crucial, turn on two-factor authentication. This stops anyone from logging in from a new device without a code sent straight to your phone. Next, turn off your phone's GPS and location services for any apps that don't absolutely need them. Also, disable your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth when you aren't actively using them, because they can actually be used to track your device. And lastly, go right into Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, the whole shebang, and lock down your privacy settings so only people you actually trust can see your life.
Now, what if you're a bystander? Like, what if a friend sends you an image of someone else? The Danish Crime Prevention Council outlines these 5 proactive steps. Number 1, never share it further. Number 2, delete the material immediately from your device. Number 3, stop the spread by explicitly telling the sender they made a mistake. Number 4, say it out loud. Call out the behavior and tell them it's illegal. And number 5, seek advice from a trusted adult or an organization if you aren't sure how to handle it. You literally have the power to break the chain.
But what if you are the victim? The organization Stop Chikane provides this specific 5-step action plan. First, talk to someone. Please don't isolate yourself. Second, and I cannot stress this enough, document the abuse with screenshots and URLs before you try to delete anything. The police absolutely need that evidence. Third, limit the damage by blocking the person. Fourth, report it to the police. They can actually help force platforms to take images down. And fifth, here's a tip a lot of people don't know. Contact your home insurance. Yeah, many policies actually cover the costs of a psychologist, a lawyer, or even a professional takedown service to wipe content from the internet.
Before we wrap up, there is one thing you absolutely must remember. Det är aldrig din skuld. It is never your fault. Whether your ex is tracking your phone or someone shared a private photo of you, the shame and the blame belong 100% to the person who crossed the boundary and broke the law, never to you.
And that brings us to the end of this explainer. We've seen the laws, we've looked at the data, and we've covered the solutions. So I want to leave you with this final thought. When you're sitting there with your phone and that notification pops up with something that definitely shouldn't be shared, will you be the one to stop the spread and speak up the next time a digital boundary is crossed? Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and stay safe out there in the digital world.